So let me just conclude this lecture with some results on the parsing problem using the re-ranking models that I just described to you in conjunction with the perceptron. So in one set of experiments by myself and Terry Koo, we started with a baseline model which was electricalized PCFG, which at least at the time was very close to the state of the art in parsing. And that scores around 88% precision and recall. Remember, F measure is a kind of average of precision and recall in recovering subconstituents within a parse tree. The re-ranked model that I just described scores 89.5% F measure, which is about 11% relative error reduction. So about 11% of the errors have been corrected by the re-ranking model. So that's a fairly significant improvement, given that these models are starting to reach quite high levels of accuracy. This is actually a pretty significant improvement, and indeed I had developed these lexicalized PCFGs during my PhD thesis, and it was very, very hard to push these any further than this 88.2% measure we see here. Here are some other results more recently from Eugene Charniak and Mark Johnson in 2005. They employed a similar approach, but they had better and best lists, better features, and also importantly a better baseline model than this model I've shown you here, and they pushed accuracy from about 89.7% to 91% accuracy. This is actually very, very close to the state of the art in parsing performance. So the re-ranking model again gives a pretty significant gain and actually produced one of the very best results we've seen on parsing. What I've shown you though in this lecture is a quite new way of thinking about these supervised learning problems that we see in natural language processing. This idea of global linear models defined through Gen, F, and V, and finally the perceptron algorithm as one way of training these parameters V. They give significant improvements on these re-ranking problems, but perhaps most importantly, they're going to open up a whole new way of thinking about algorithms for problems such as translation or tagging and parsing, and we'll see how we can apply these models in several other contexts in the final week of lectures, which is the next week of this class.